Welcome back to my chaotic kitchen. Today we're gonna be making some berry pie squares. It's basically like a homemade Pop-Tart. I have never personally made these before. We're gonna figure it out together. They're also going to be gluten-free, as I am gluten-free, and the things that I make 90% of the time are going to be. So figure out a place to prop you guys. What you're gonna want is 2 cups of berries. They could be fresh or frozen. They're gonna be put in the microwave anyway. And I'm gonna go a little bit off of this recipe that I have in front of me because I just don't have some of those things, and I can other things out, especially if you're like, oh, I don't own that, that's fine. You'll need almond flour, tapioca flour, sugar, vanilla, coconut oil or olive oil is fine. Any neutral oil is fine. And some chia seeds is basically what we're working with. I'm also gonna throw in some vanilla for fun. Don't mind me if I bend down. Toast is just eating my slippers. So, first things first, you're gonna get about 2 cups of berries, which I have right here. We're gonna pop them in the microwave for 2 minutes. Now, while that is happening, we're gonna measure out everything else that we're gonna be using. So I've got my almond flour. We're gonna use, trying to prop you guys up right now on my sink. There we go. We're going to be going with 1 cup of almond flour. Now I do keep mine in the freezer, so I kind of have to dig at it to get the amount that I need. Almost a cup. Now they say baking is an exact science, but sometimes you just gotta go with the feel of it. All right, so I got 1 cup of almond flour. Put that back in my freezer. Now we're also going to get 1 cup of tapioca flour. This is, there was dust that just came out of that. By dust, I mean tapioca flour. This is gonna act almost as like a thickener. So we got a cup of that. You can already see it's coating the inside of my cup. And then we'll use more for dusting. Not running out, that's fine. Toast, stop. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of vanilla to this because I want my dough to have a little bit of a nice flavor. Stop biting my legs. I have to go distract my dog quick because he's biting my legs. Gotta figure out what distracts him with. Hi, buddy. Come here. Very needy dog today. I really gotta find him a lick mat. Anyway, so we've got those 2 things in here. We're also gonna add our sugar, which only calls for 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna grab our 2 tablespoons, the big old bag of sugar. This tells you how much I make. I used to use organic cane sugar. And we're just gonna go 1 and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then this gets zipped up and goes right back to where it came from. And our berries just came out of the microwave, so we're gonna deal with those. So hopefully these berries are warm enough to just kind of macerate. I'm gonna bring you guys over here now. So you got our warmed up berries. I'm just gonna grab a fork and see if they are warm enough. And they are not. They're a little juicier, but it's not quite to where I want it to be yet. So I'm actually gonna throw that in for another minute. If you use fresh, it's not gonna take this long. I just only have frozen on me right now. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix my flours together. So my almond flour, my coconut flour, my sugars, and my vanilla. I gotta make sure all my clumps come out. I don't know why I'm holding my phone here. All my clumps from my frozen almond flour come out. So I've got a lot of those. I don't just want pockets of almond flour. That's going to taste really gross after this is baked. I just want to make sure that it's mixed well. And then eventually we're going to add our oil. Like I said, olive, coconut are your options. Back on over to this side. Bowl is coming out. Oh, that is much warmer. We're just gonna keep macerating this. And we're gonna add, eventually, some chia seeds to this. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of our chia seeds. The nice thing about this recipe is you really only need a cup measurer and a tablespoon measurer. This is just gonna help thicken the berries so that they're more gel-like for the inside so that they don't get runny. We're just gonna mix them in. And then we're going to pop it back in the microwave again once these are all mixed. The goal is to get all the chia seeds in there. And then back in the microwave for another minute. So while we wait for that, we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna add our oil. So this calls for 6 tablespoons of oil. Now, because this is a liquid and not a coconut oil that is a solid/liquid, we are not gonna add that much. We are going to do 1, 2, and 3 as of right now. We're gonna now mix this together and see what it looks like. Because we want to be able to roll this. We want it to be like a dough consistency. So you add too much, it's not gonna be a dough consistency. You add too little, you're just gonna get crumbles, which is currently what I'm at. So we're getting crumbles right now, which according to this, if I use coconut oil, we should be able to resemble coarse meal, which it's getting there. I think I'm gonna do 1 more. So that's now 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Yeah, that's more like it. Baking is fun, especially gluten-free baking. You never know how it's gonna turn out. It could turn out really well the first time, and then you will never be able to replicate it again. Or it could turn out terribly. We don't know. We're gonna find out. That's what we're here for. All right, that's more like the consistency that we want. All right, so our mixture is done. I'm gonna give that another little mix. And then I'm gonna actually stick this in the refrigerator to let it kind of cool down and just gel up is what we're looking for. All right, so that is done. Now it says add 3 tablespoons of cold water until the dough comes together. So I'm gonna do 1 at a time. That was probably 1.5, but that's fine. Until it forms a dough. Like I said, we have to be very careful with this type of baking because we don't want to overwater anything. we'd rather add it in slowly. So it calls for 3. We're just gonna go 1 at a time since I'm already semi-forming a dough, which is wonderful. We don't need olive oil anymore. Not quite to where I want it to be. I don't even know if I'd add a full tablespoon. I might just add a tiny little bit here, especially because I got probably 1.5 earlier. But you don't want it to be wet. You want to be able to move with the dough. So right now, as you can see, it's kind of looking like a dough. You know, it's sticking. That's what we want. We want it to be pliable. I think that did it. So it's really 2 tablespoons for what I'm doing, because you want a dough. You want to be able to hold it. You want to be able to build with it, right? Make sure everything, this is a lot of mixing for my arm. Now you can also do this in a food processor, but it's pretty early in the morning that I'm recording this, and as you can see, I'm still wearing my glasses. So it's pretty early in the morning for me, since I don't have my actual eyes in yet for me to do that. So we're just gonna take a drink break and have some tea, not wine or anything else, at what is 7:40 in the morning. You get a lovely sunlight though. Okay. So the dough needs to hold together in a ball form. I definitely think we got that, according to this recipe. Yeah, that's what it's saying. So now we're going to, we are gonna bake. Okay, let's get this shindig going. We're gonna preheat our oven to 350. And then we're gonna grab our prepped. This is my baking one. I have 2. I have one for baking, which is my circles, and I have one for cooking. You can use parchment paper if you're feeling like using paper products. Up to you. Make sure my dog is still occupied with the correct item. Oh, he is. I didn't realize that he was right next to me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dust this with some tapioca flour. If I can open it, my hands decide to work. There we go. Which sticks to everything, I might add. So we're gonna dust it. You can see tapioca flour literally sticks to everything. It is a staple in gluten-free baking. All right, that's pretty good for right now. I'm actually gonna leave that part on my hand. I'm probably gonna be using my hand for this. All right. So we're gonna take our ball, eventually, as I get it out of this this bowl here. We're gonna take our ball, this lovely formed bowl dough. We are going to roll it, as in I am going to press it. A rolling pin might actually do me justice here. Let's see, hopefully this does not stick. Oh, so far so good, just kidding. It definitely wants to stick. Which is okay. We're gonna roll out our dough. You want it to be pretty thin, I believe. Yeah, so we're basically getting enough for 4 sandwiches here. We don't want it to be too thick, because if it's too thick, it's not gonna cook right. You're gonna have raw dough, which is not gonna taste good. But we wanna basically roll these out into rectangles. I'm gonna take some from under here since that's a little too thick. And we add, and we roll, and we add until we get our desired thinness, which honestly, I'm probably just about there. Oh, as I'm rolling it with me. There we go. All right, so you might be saying, now what? Well, now we're gonna cut shit. So, got a pizza cutter, and we are going to cut, it says 3-inch wide strips for a 3x4 rectangle. Well, we're gonna see how this goes, because I don't really have rectangles right now, so I'm just going to, they want us to leave it on there, so I'm gonna make a rectangle with kind of what I've got going on right now. So I'll have scraps that I can use and build up. In other ways. So maybe I'll get 3. We'll see. We'll see what I can get. Maybe 4, but for now. This is the part of baking that gets messy. All right, and then what we're gonna do with our rectangle is we're going to cut it in half. And then it looks like I'm gonna be able to get 3. These are definitely not super even, and that's okay. Because I clearly don't know how to cut things. So all I'm gonna do is roll it so I can stick it back together. Easy, easy peasy. So I'm still gonna cut down the center. And I'm still gonna start here. I just need to be better at cutting. Not go all willy-nilly. There we go. So now we have, I'm gonna grab a scraper actually. We're gonna take our pastry scraper and just wiggle one side kind of off eventually. Yeah, so this will definitely make 4. We're gonna grab our dough, our mixture here. And we are going to add it to the center. Avoiding the edges. Okay, avoiding the edges. Toast, please stop biting me. Toast, please stop biting me. That one definitely did not avoid the edges, but that's okay. Toast, stop biting me. My dog really likes my slippers. Ow! Stop being a jerk. All right. Ow, toast, stop. Stop. Nope, he still wants to bite me regardless if I'm wearing these slippers or not. I'm gonna have to put him in jail. Jail for him just means he gets put on the couch because he doesn't know how to jump. Okay. This is where the hard part comes in. As we try not, so we have one piece of our pastry here. We try not to break the pastry like I keep doing. It's a good thing that we have extra pieces. They may not be uniform, but they will work. And that's what we're about, a functional kitchen. Right? A functional kitchen, everybody. That's what we like to see. Okay. Fork. Need a fork. So we're going to basically press our dough together to make sure that it stays, to make sure none of our juices come out, even though they definitely already are. But you know, you live and you learn. I've never made these, so this is an adventure for everyone, including me. We are going to hopefully slowly move this if it lets me, but it's looking like it won't. There we go. Very sticky dough. All right, we got one Pop-Tart. This is so much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. All right. Next one's looking a little bit more like it should. Clearly, I'm having issues with how to cut things correctly. Started off looking real nice though. There we go. As we layer on. Okay, this one's looking more Pop-Tart-like. And we're just going to not let the dough completely come out of our hands like it wants to. And we're gonna seal. Which it's sticky enough, it should seal by itself, but here we are anyway. There we go. All right, that second one looks already a million times better than the first one. And we broke one. Nice. All right, we're just gonna flip that one right on there. Sure, that kind of works. This dough. All right, flattening our dough out with our hands because that's just where we're at today. It's a good thing I did not do another one. We have a lot of excess. Fruit in here, which is kind of great because we can use it to make our chocolate drops because it's the same ingredients, and freeze those. All right. Probably hear my dog throwing a fit. Okay. Wow, this is taking so much longer than I had imagined. So, we got our dough here. We have a little bit more. I'm just gonna make a little pocket, I think. Spread it out, make a pocket. Just gonna roll it in there. Just like a little tiny fruit pocket, I guess. That is not gonna work like I wanted it to. That is okay. This is gonna be our little fruit pocket rose, I guess we'll call it. Okay, so now that that's that, we'll stick this sucker back in the fridge, use it for later. Oh, so we don't even bake these right now. I misread directions. These have to sit in the fridge for an hour, and then we bake them. So right now they look like this. I got 3 in a rose. Little fruit flower right there. So they look very much like a child has made them, which we love to see. We're gonna refrigerate for an hour. Then you're gonna set your oven to 350. So if you already did, please shut it off. As I'm going to do. We'll refrigerate for an hour. Then you're gonna bake these for 30 minutes. And you're going to want to use a pastry brush to brush these, either with egg yolk or with almond milk, whatever one you wanna do. And then you'll top it off with like just a regular glaze. So you'll take some powdered sugar, some milk or some almond milk, mix it together until the consistency you want. Maybe add a little bit of vanilla, and you'll drizzle that on top for your Pop-Tarts, and that's kind of how it's gonna be. I'm gonna go refrigerate these for an hour. And if you have any questions on it, I'll take a picture when they're done. Bye.